Okay, Lonny Allen, Director of Athletics, Tiffin University, and we're here at the grand opening of I think maybe one of the top 5 facilities, any division in college wrestling. You guys are NCAA Division II here at Tiffin University, and wow, what a facility! And you know, let's just talk about it. But where do you even get a brainchild? Where does it even, like, the idea for something like this, an amazing facility like this, come up?
Well, we come from really humble beginnings. We used to be at an old Big Lots, abandoned Big Lots that was in a shopping mall, and we had our indoor track athletes that were working out there, and the wrestling was way back in the back room. We had mats everywhere, and just knew that we could do better, and that it was one of those things, if you build it, they'll come, the whole Field of Dreams thing. And what we did is we took an old bus barn and we renovated it to be half of this. And we're happy. We're happy. This is where you see that community really gets behind the program. And our head coach, Joey Simcoe, has done such a good job with our Biddy complex and what they've done in here with getting that program started, that we just had a lot of community members that wanted to back that. And they came to him and said, hey, we want to help you out. And I mean, that just doesn't happen. Not in this day and age that the community just comes to you and says, hey, let us give you money and let's expand your building to help you. And this is what we got.
We're sandwiched in between the University of Michigan and Ohio State University, right?
We are.
We're right in between, almost halfway point, right?
Pretty close,
and
the dead middle.
You look at your facility. This current facility is better than the Ohio State Universities. They're building a new one, the Cavelli Center. The Bonnet facility up there at University of Michigan is incredible. Standalone as well. To know that you're in the conversation with 2 of the most major universities on the planet and programs on the planet Earth, what's that like, knowing that you're in the conversation facility-wise? You got your first NCAA champion 2 years ago at heavyweight with Garrett Gray. He's a local guy. You got momentum. The program's got momentum. Where do you go from here but up? What do you guys, with this facility, what's the goal? What's the vision? What do you want to see out of your program now?
Well, that's the goal. The goal is to win, you know, not only individual national championships, but team national championships. We started a women's program this year that bled right into this thing. I mean, this is part of the reason that we were able to do this as well, is that the university put in monies to offset, you know, the expansion of the locker room and stuff for the women. So, you know, we work together with the community, with the university, to not only have the best facility for the men, but I would say by far we have the best women's wrestling facility in the country.
Notre Dame College has won an NCAA title. They've been runner-up. They're right down the road. They're 2 hours away.
Yep.
You guys are, you know, obviously right here. It's crazy because there's a D3 program, Heidelberg, I'm a mile away maybe.
Mile away, yeah.
Right. You got them, and Division II and Division III for me feels like it's the future of NCAA wrestling. Now you've had some additions in Division I lately with, you know, you had Presbyterian, you had Little Rock added, and then, you know, Fresno State brought back, but you're still dropping at the Division I level as a whole, right? It's kind of staying even in the last 3 years. Boise State dropped, but I feel like wrestling, the future of wrestling is NCAA Division II. I feel like it's adding by leaps and bounds, and just the state of Ohio, right? I mean, you look at the programs that have been added for the last decade, you being one of them. But knowing wrestling's this is the future of college wrestling, most likely, right, with Division I dwindling. What do you want these guys to get out of a huge facility like this, a great college experience at a smaller liberal arts college? What do you want the kids to get out of this, and what's the ultimate goal for you, and what do you want to see kids get out of Division II wrestling here at Tiffin?
Well, think about this. Our national champion from 2 years ago is now our assistant wrestling coach. I mean, that shows you what kind of faith that he has in our program to stay and to want to train people to actually beat his records, right? I mean, when we get the student athletes here, we want to give them the best experience. We want them to have every facet. Here at Tiffin, small school, individual attention, but to come in here into this room and to be able to train in the best facilities with, I think we have the best coaches in the country, and, you know, strength and conditioning, he's out of this world in Kyle Gilbert. The things that we're providing our student athletes, I think that we're providing them a Division I experience at a Division II level. So I think that we're knocking it out of the park. And I mean, you know, I'm excited to see what this building can do for us from a recruiting standpoint and a retention standpoint. I know that our coaches are going to coach them up and we're going to get better and all that good stuff, but, you know, it's attracting that kid that is looking at Ohio State and Michigan that you said earlier, and can we get that guy? Hey, I'm going to go to Tiffin. So those are kind of things that we're hoping happens.
You know, football, that's always the one that, you know, football is huge.
Yeah.
Football is huge at every college or university,
Yeah.
right? But like you bring a program like this where it's proven they can win a national title. They got a guy that can win a national title. Team trophies are going to start coming. As a director of athletics, why did women's and bringing women's wrestling to Tiffin University, why was it so important to you? Why is that such a no-brainer for you? And why would you do that? I mean, there's some risk involved there, right? But, you know, it's blowing up. But what in your mind really drew you to women's wrestling?
I have 2 daughters, okay? I want to be able to provide them with the best opportunities that they could have. They didn't wrestle or anything like that, but I understand, you know, I sit here and I talk to our female wrestlers, and they're wide-eyed. They're wide-eyed. They want to be successful. You can see it. You talk to them today. You walk around, you talk to them, and they want it. That's an awesome thing. We're the only school in Ohio that's doing that, putting us on the map. And we want to do the same thing with them. We want to be the best with that sport as well.
Being a trailblazer, you know, well, how many athletic directors are calling you? Hey, what's it take? What's the undertaking here? What's the commitment? What do I got to do? Being the first, what's that like?
I had a few. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's just like everything else. You know, we had esports 2 years ago, and we had 20-something other institutions that came in and toured our building. You know, this year we're adding women's wrestling. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to start seeing it go, and people are going to start adding, and which is good. It's going to be a great opportunity for women wrestlers. For, you know, they're going to be able to go here or there. For us in Ohio, I said on a recruiting spill, and parents were crying because their kid got to stay in the state of Ohio and didn't go to another state, and they have a better opportunity to get to see them when they compete here.
Always fighting the battle of every kid thinks they're a D1 guy, and it seems to be like me as a parent. You know, I got 2 young kids. I think that there's a lot more opportunity, and we've talked about, you know, NCAA Division 2 and 3 is the future of college wrestling, in my opinion at least. But like, how do you guys fight that battle? And what do you tell Joey when he's constantly fighting this battle? Every kid thinks they're a D1 guy, and they might be a walk-on at Michigan. They could come here and be an All-American for you. How do you, you know, kind of encourage your coaches to keep fighting the good fight and, you know, get them to Tiffin?
It's whether I'm talking football, baseball, basketball, women's lacrosse, whoever you talk to, everybody's fighting that same battle, that same stigma of it's D1, D2. You know, there's really, really great D2. There's really bad D1, right? So, you know, Joey's not going to have an issue with that. Joey's very well known in the wrestling world that, you know, we're going to go out and we're going to get those guys, those tweener guys that, you know, we can say. So I think that Joey probably has a better chance of getting that student athlete than some of our other coaches, just because of you know, what he's done and where he's been.
If there's one thing you want people in the United States of America to know about Tiffin University, well, you can recruit internationally, right? And in the world, what do you want people to know about Tiffin University? What are the Dragons doing? What are you guys doing special here that maybe other people aren't, besides women's wrestling? What are you doing that's so special and makes it such a special place?
So, you know, the same day that Garrett won his national championship, our men's track team won the indoor nationals at the same complex. They did their celebration. They come off the stage, and we get to go over and watch this monster go out there. And, I mean, he just dominated, all right, in the championship. Those are the things that you can get at Tiffin. You know, you can come here and you get an awesome, awesome degree, all right? You're going to have individual attention, but you're going to be able to compete at the highest level in athletics. And you're going to have the facilities to be able to really, really to tone your craft.
All right. You got anything else for me?
Awesome day. I appreciate you being here. It really means a lot that you're here. I know how high that Joey talks about you and what you're doing, and I just really appreciate you being here.
Hey, thanks for the time. I'm excited about the ceremony, and go Dragons.
Go Dragons.